So let's get into this first sequence here, and I assume that this is setting up what one of the battles could be here, and I keep saying that in these reviews because Oda keeps doing that. He's like, hey, look, this could be a battle, right? This could be something cool. No, I'm just going to abandon that, and we're just going to move on to the next thing. So I want to say that we're going to see, the group of scabbards here with Neko Mamushi, Inorashi, and Izo take on Kanjuro and the, I guess, Gifter Elite or whoever these are, and the headless dudes that he drew up. So maybe this is going to happen because we already got the clash between Kiko and Kanjuro. But they are actually engaging in battle here, which is a good sign, I'll say. Nekomushi and Inorashi, we see their upgrades. Neko has the gun hand and Inorashi has the sword leg, which is pretty cool. It's like my two sword style. And then we see that nyan cha, they are battling. And then we cut away from it, which we kind of have to. It goes back to the scatterbrain stuff. And there's so many storylines going on at once right now that we can only look at so much. Only so much can be seen on panel. There's probably going to be a lot of off-panel development in this art. I mean, it already has been happening, with the whole Momonosuke stuff with the Kanjuro. That was all off-screen, so I would expect more stuff like that to happen. And that's not such a bad thing. We don't literally have to see every single thing that happens for it to make sense. But first, an ad read for Pirate Me. So if you've ever wanted your very own wanted poster, now's your chance, because if you go to Pirate Me, you can upload any image you want pretty much, and their artist will transform it into a straight up wanted poster with a nice big old bounty on there. Look what they did for me. This is a good job. It's not like they're running it through a filter or anything. I mean, even Joe Exotic got in on this. So please use the code BIG-Z. You're going to get 10% off. You can check the link in the description. Thanks, guys. So now let's come to Yamato, and I love this sequence. I just love Yamato. I think he is a great character. Oda really did well with this one. And it looks like he is going to definitely be the next Straw Hat member. And hey, awesome. I'm all on board with it. We kind of speculated this as soon as Yamato came out, with the mask and everything. It was I guess it was the writing was on the wall already. And it's not like the Straw Hats are in desperate need of new members, kind of like what they were maybe a couple years ago, especially because they just got Jinbei. So now that they're going to get Yamato, I mean, it only helps, of course. But then with the whole Kozuki Oden thing, is Oda really going to try to ride this out? Are we really going to have to look at Yamato as Kozuki Oden? And then everybody's going to call him that, and it's just there's no longer Yamato, this is just Oden now, which would kind of be strange. It's almost like Oda is trying to force this story to have its cake and eat it, meaning that everybody wanted Oden to be a part of the current story, the current storyline, and maybe even people really pushing for Oden to join the Straw Hats if he was still alive. And of course that would be incredible. Oden is one of the best characters in the series, in my opinion, just based off of his flashback. And that brings me to the whole having your cake and eat it thing, because it's hey, we might not have the literal Oden, but we still got somewhat of an Oden here that can join the Straw Hats. Regardless, I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll just adapt to it. But let's come to the shackles thing here. So Yamato's in prison since they were 8 years old and forced to stay on the island. And, Kaido beat him and all that good stuff. The great father that he is. So are these Sea Stone as well? Not sure. I don't know if they say it, or maybe the new the official translation will point that out. But if they are Sea Stone, and Yamato does have a devil fruit, then wow, Yamato is way more powerful than we initially gave them credit for. Because, remember the trigrams on ulti, that one-shotted basically a flying six, or knocked the flying six out. And if that is with Sea Stone cuffs on, after eating a devil fruit, then wow, that's incredible. So Yamato joining the Straw Hats is necessary. It's not like it's shoehorned in or it's just fan service or something like that. It's very important that this character does join them. And I'm not saying it's guaranteed. There is like a chance Luffy could like pull some Grand Fleet stuff, and it's like, I don't acknowledge you as a crew member, and then I don't know, she's just a powerful ally or something, and she's randomly shows up from time to time. But I do think that she's going to join the crew because remember that she read Odin's journal, and that's clearly one of the most important pieces of recorded information in this world. So knowing everything that they know, you can talk to Robin, which she's obviously going to play a huge part in the series after this arc because, you know, she's the whole tool needed to unlock the One Piece and Laugh Tale. And in order to get closer to that, she's going to need the information from Yamato and, of course, all of the other information that's going to be gathered in the fallout of this arc. But aside from that, and, you know, being absurdly powerful, you know, just clearly on the level of the monster trio plus Jinbei, if not even stronger than them. It remains to be seen at this point, but for now, I think it's easy to say she's flying 6 level. I'm just not sure what role she would have with the crew, you know, like on the ship. Like all of the Straw Hats all have their own purpose, you know, like Nami's the navigator, Sanji's the cook, Chopper's the doctor, so on and so forth. So, like, what would she be on the crew other than just being a powerhouse with knowledge? And that's fine. I mean, not everybody has to have, like, some kind of ultimate role to the crew or whatever, but Jinbei, like, he was added conveniently as the helmsman of the crew, and I didn't expect that. But I guess if you go back, you can kind of see, like, Jinbei did have that skill. Like, I think in the flashback of him on like Fisher Tiger's crew, or just when he took over the Sun Pirates, I'm pretty sure you see him steering the ship. So I guess that was like implying that, hey, you know, that's useful, and the Straw Hats obviously needed that. So maybe Yamato will have a similar purpose to Zoro, kind of just being like the muscle of the group that can follow orders, because that's what Zoro always kind of was, you know, like, he was always very useful on the ship. He was always helping out. He would do things like turning the hull and bringing up the anchor or like lowering the sails. Like, he was always doing stuff. Like, he's good at following orders, but his ultimate purpose on the crew is just to be super powerful swordsmen. So maybe that's what Yamato will have, something like that, you know, maybe not like a direct, like literal, like she's the helmsman or she's the doctor. She's kind of just like, she's just a part of the crew and she's useful. So then we're coming to the big Kaido and Big Mom announcement thing, and this is awesome. It's a shame that this is like coming at the end of the chapter, because as soon as this was over, I was like, oh, I wanted it to keep going. And, you know, most of the time I'm like content with these chapters ending at this one. No, I wanted to see more. But this is a very important sequence with a lot of important dialogue, because it's setting up the final arc of the series, or not, you know, initially setting it up. I guess Whitebeard kind of set up Laugh Tale's final battle arc, but Kaido at least mentions it here. He's like, you know, to prepare for the eventual biggest world war. So yeah, that's definitely talking about Laugh Tale, which I assume that at some point in the series, everyone is going to have like the location of Laugh Tale, and they're all going to be there at the same time. It's like race to the One Piece, and then we just have this one big battle with all of the significant characters in the series, and it's going to be an epic conclusion, of course. But until then, we got Wano and the new Onigashima. So this isn't going to play out, of course. I think this is just Kaido's like one last like effort to show that he is an unredeemable villain that needs to be taken down, if it wasn't already apparent at this point. But Oda kind of just does that. He's like hat on hat with all of his villains. Like, it's like Kanjuro is a good example. It's like, hey, he was the traitor, don't you hate him? Yeah. Well, now I'm going to make you hate him more because he's going to abuse this child. But anyway, let's come to Kaido straight up beheading Orochi. This was awesome. I just love how quick it is. Like, there's no like second thoughts. There's no more dialogue. It's like as soon as Orochi is like, hey, that's my territory, zoom, head off. Love it. This just strengthens Kaido, of course. But I don't think Orochi is actually dead here. I mean, I could be wrong, and it would be fine. It'd be cool if this was... It'd be a very fitting ending for this character, but considering that he has the Yamata no Mi, you know, the 8-headed serpent, mythical Zoan fruit, I guess that's got to play into him, right? I mean, 8 heads, if you cut off one, you got to cut them all off. I'm sure he'll have a similar revival to like Tamago did in Whole Cake. Like, remember when Tamago was initially defeated by Pedro, and then like he had that rebirth from his devil fruit and it turned him into a chicken? I'm sure something like this will happen with Orochi. Like, don't be surprised if his body just starts transforming into the Yamato, Zoan form, and then one of the heads is missing. I mean, if that doesn't happen, of course, and Orochi is dead, then that means that the fruit is going to revive. Like the devil fruit, the Yamato no Mi, is going to find whatever fruit is local in the area, and then it's going to, transfer its demon soul into it, and then that will become the new fruit, which means that somebody might eat it this arc, which may be Yamato. Because Yamato, maybe not. Let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments, guys. Love this one. I hope you did too. If you liked the review, please give it a like. Also have a Patreon, give you access to a weekly Q&A, and if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.